Crypto Hotep here with another trading video. This video is just going to be a rundown again on the crypto markets. A lot of activity has happened in the past several weeks, and just want to kind of express my thoughts, what I think's happening in the markets, and if we have time, we'll go over our spot altcoin portfolio and see how it's doing. Spoiler alert. It's not doing as good as it once was a month ago, just like with everyone else, but that's okay. Before we get into it, as always, guys, I want to give a shout out to Coinbase. Coinbase is paying the bills here. They are supporting the channel as they always do. And obviously, shameless plug, if you have a Coinbase account, or even if you don't, use the link in the description, connect it. It actually supports the channel because they will pay a portion of the transaction fees when you buy and sell crypto on their site, and it'll come directly to me. So you don't have to give me anything. You don't have to open your wallet, your cold wallet, your hot wallet, whatever, to send a little Bitcoin. You could, but you don't have to. You just use that link because of the sponsorship. And as always, guys, none of this is financial advice. But with that being said here, we open up Twitter here and we see Sam Bankman-Fried's face just plastered on here. That's hilarious. He posts GM from prison, of course. Couple big things that have happened here. So we have one of the bigger things that everybody was speaking about is the Fed interest rate decision. And the interest rate cut did go through. It was a quarter point as it was predicted. So we actually went from a 4.5% rate to a now 4.25% rate. And as you can see here, if we go and look at it from a chart, this is basically the percentages, and it's crazy to see the amount of decrease that the interest rates have had even 2 years ago. We were at 5.5%, and it's trickled down slowly, but it has trickled down here. So that's one of the first big things that has gone into effect is the Fed interest rate cut. And why is that a big deal? Well, the premise is with the Fed interest rate cut, that hopefully will be the catalyst to have this one last leg up. And yes, I said one last leg. I'll show you shortly. For altcoins and Bitcoin before the initial collapse of the markets. Okay. And the reason for that is if interest is cutting rates, they're basically making debt a little bit cheaper, not a whole lot because it's just a 0.25%. So we're not, breaking the bank here, but they're making it cheaper to borrow money, and they're making it less desirable to hoard money in a high yield savings account or a money market fund or anything like that. So what we could see is we could see money from those quote unquote safe places then move over into risk on assets like gold, which we have seen just have a monster boom, silver, which we have seen have a monster boom, and also crypto assets. And unfortunately, crypto assets haven't been yet on that monster boom like gold. But again, I'm going to show you guys my perspective on this in a second. With that being said, we can go to CoinMarketCap. And honestly, guys, these tools that I'm showing you, they're free. Investing.com is a very good platform. You can go there. CoinMarketCap, very good platform. Have the app too on both of these. And with CoinMarketCap, they'll give you a nice, easy to look at crypto market review. And I believe it's updated in real time as well, but they'll kind of consolidate things here. So they'll consolidate things such as the fear and greed index, and usually the fear and greed index is the pulse of the sentiment of the crypto market currently. So how's crypto feeling currently? So right now we're in the fear index here, where 39 and below is fear and extreme fear, meaning that people aren't very hopeful on the market. And honestly, that's where you want to start buying again, is when people are less hopeful. And where you want to sell at is when you're over here, kind of on that higher portion of that fear and greed index. I mean, is it 100% indicator? No, there never is, but it's another good tool in your tool bag to paint that picture for your trades or your investments. And one thing you can see here is if we go to, say, around the December point where we had that sort of like macro top where everything started to collapse around December, end of December, January, you could see we were at the extreme greed phase of this fear and greed index. Okay, so that's a good index or a good indicator to look at. There's also they also have an altcoin season indicator to look at. The altcoin season indicator just kind of again gets a pulse on the crypto market in terms of where are we more positioned to be at? Are we more positioned to have a more altcoin season, or is it more Bitcoin season here? So again, you can look and see what this base does, what this is based on. It's based on the performance of the top altcoins relative to Bitcoin over the last 90 days. Okay. And it does provide a nice Bitcoin dominance, kind of a quick glance on the Bitcoin dominance. Me, preferably, I go back to the charts. I'm a chart guy, as you guys know, so I do like the charts, but it's very easy to look at. This isn't bad at all. There's also quick market reviews that you can see on certain items, such as Bitcoin treasuries, so where Bitcoin is held, and the number of holdings per company. This was a pretty good diagram, and the holdings per company are crazy. Strategy, Michael Saylor's company, is just dwarfing everybody else. Nobody's even coming close to him, and this is a crazy amount. Out of this whole total Bitcoin, Strategy holds about 62% of it. If we look at the countries breakdown, US is at top with over 90% holding of Bitcoin. So when it comes to Bitcoin treasuries now, so just a crazy statistics here to kind of get that pulse on the market. Also, we have BTF or not BTF, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto ETF trackers. This is also good because it can show you net flows of ETFs, which kind of shows how the institutional buyers are feeling. Folks like BlackRock, Fidelity, those type of people. Are they putting more money into the Bitcoin ETFs, or are they taking more money or selling out of those Bitcoin ETFs as well as Ethereum ETFs? So you can see that here. We've had a large dump on the market, so it's very common to see those net flows. So the net money for those Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs as a negative, which it is right here. So you can see there's a negative, and those numbers are astonishing. So just good information to show here as we're looking at it. And if we look into the charts here, and as you know, I am a chart guy here. So what we'll do is we're gonna look at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance currently, we're sitting at 58.47%. We have seen a decline, which we did mention in past videos, from June all the way till now. We already showcased the possible level that we could see a bounce. So as you can see here, the downward trend of that Bitcoin dominance has slowed to this level as we thought it would. And you can see there's a little bit of a bullish doji. Not quite, because we still have about, I want to say, 5 days left in the week here before this candle closes. So anything could happen, but something to keep an eye on here. Okay, something to keep an eye on here. Me personally, I don't really go to the Bitcoin dominance charts. I prefer my USDC dominance charts here. This works better for me because it deals with the inversion or the opposite of altcoin. So this is how I play everything. Everything's somewhat in a downtrend right now, and that makes sense because altcoins is somewhat retesting this weekly level here at around, I want to say 1.93. It's around 1.93, 1.92. That area here, it looks like right now that USDC dominance is retesting that. So again, to retest something, price has to go up. So if price goes up on USDC, your altcoins unfortunately are going to do the exact opposite of that. And this is, I never want to say it's 100% correct in this, but it's really, really, really close. Okay. I still believe that we may get a rejection on this zone. As of right now, we don't see it. But again, there's still 5 days left. So I think we'll see a rejection, and then hopefully we can see a collapse through this weekly zone here, further down here. I really want to see the collapse in stable coins down to the bottom. I really want to see that collapse. So all is not lost yet. And again, September is normally a pretty bad month for altcoins and Bitcoin alike. So all this price action, it just doesn't faze me too much. And we only have about eight days or so left in the month as well. So as long as you can make it through that, you're fine. I really don't look at USDT. We can look at it, but USDT is kind of in no man's land here. Kind of like just sitting here in this like equilibrium portion of the chart. I really would like to see USDT kind of wick this area and come down right in here. That's what I would like to see. It did break below a key level of 4.5%, and now again it's retesting this level right here. It hasn't broke it yet, and that's what we don't want to see it break it. We're fine with wicks going through the level. I don't care about that. As long as the body doesn't go through the level and keep going through the level. That's what we don't want to happen. Okay. The dollar itself, dollar's looking weak, very, very weak as well. And I also posted this on Twitter. Again, in no man's land, nothing but red candles. There's a new weekly supply zone right here that I drew. I think we can get down to 95 level on dollar all day. Okay. ETH BTC, again, this doesn't look really good because it looks like we have a hard rejection on this level, and I don't want to see this close below this weekly supply level. I really don't want to see this close. I'd rather see this be a liquidity move where price comes back into it and then chops around to go up. But again, we have 5 days left. Okay. Let's get to like the BTC and ETH chart. So BTC, if we look at BTC currently, BTC's chart, it doesn't signify anything bearish to me right now. We have a slight pullback here. We have a couple of green candles, and again, it's just choppy price action right now. I would be more concerned if we had a hard rejection through this area right here. That's where I would be more concerned. We haven't had that yet. So I really don't see what all the doom and gloom is about right now. It's just there's just a dip in the price is all. So I don't feel very bad about that. What I don't feel good about is Ethereum right here. So Ethereum looks not so good right now. I don't like this candle, this weekly candle here. I really don't like for Ethereum because that means that we may dip lower into this around this 39-ish area here, which I really wouldn't like to see. But again, we got 5 days left. Anything could happen in the 5 days. I would really like to see us kind of take this back through this level and then again chop around, come up, and then get around to the 5, maybe the 5,500, and then we can come back down. But I don't like that move because now then we have to get through this area again, which, I mean, Ethereum could do it, but and quickly I will get to the spot altcoin portfolio. Again, not looking as good as it once was, right? So if we look at 3 month at 50%, and then 6 month we're above 159%. But again, everything somewhat has changed for the downside. But if we look at our P&L, currently our P&L, everything's in the green but GRT. So guys, with that being said, I think we're good. But as always, feel free to like, subscribe, comment. It helps the algorithm. And as always, guys, thank you and happy trading.